If the only tool you have is a hammer, you tend to see every problem as a nail. Abraham Maslow. What Maslow meant by the hammer is the power of education. Education has the power to solve most problems in the world today. Part of our duty towards our society is increasing the sharing of knowledge that we have learned, experienced, or collected. Aspire is a new dialogue program that invites guests from various educational backgrounds who kindly share their stories and advice to help our new generations to live a good life. Education is for improving the lives of others and for leaving your community and world better than you found it. Marian Wright Edelman. It is highly appreciated that we have speakers who want to increase the knowledge of parents in order to ensure that our kids grow up in a safe environment. As well as educating youth, increasing the knowledge of parents is one of the best ways to ensure that our kids grow up in a safe environment. This program discusses issues that are important for people in various fields of interest. Aspire is presented by doctoral student Madi Alakloubi.
Hello everybody, this is Mahdi Alakloubi from Canada. You are listening to the Aspire Show podcast where we host educational experts to help us improve ourselves. Today we are talking about the real brave line with Dr. Sherwood. Dr. Sherwood is a certified resilience coach and she has 35 years of clinical expertise as a social work therapist. Dr. Sherwood recently published a book about her personal story to inspire us and help us to learn more about ourselves. The title of Dr. Sherwood's book is Greatness Finds a Way, and we will know more about it today. Please give a special welcome to our special guest, Dr. Sherwood. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure, honestly. I'm very, very happy to be here. Thank you.
So, Dr. Sherwood, let's know more about you. You spend decades helping people to be real. First of all, what does the term real mean to you? I mean, what is your philosophy or theory that you rely on as life coach, psychoeducator, and therapist?
Wow. Okay. So let me start with my educational background. I received my bachelor's degree in social work from the Toronto Metropolitan University. I received my master's degree from the University of Manitoba and then my doctorate from the University of Calgary. So that's my educational background. My clinical background is I've worked with so many different levels of government, and also I kept a small private practice for myself. So recently I've retired my therapist license because I really just wanted to concentrate on resilience coaching. Realness. Realness is something I am very, very passionate about, and realness to me means being completely as you humanly can, completely honest with other people. And here's the harder one, is to be completely honest with yourself. And you'd be surprised at how both can be really, really challenging when a person really sets out to do that. So that's where I come in, is I help people get to that.
So you mentioned that your target audience is from 35 to 60 years old. Let me ask you about that trendy concept in psychology, which is a midlife crisis. As a psychoeducator, can you tell us more about the midlife crisis symptoms and solution, and when should we be brave to admit to this crisis, and when do we need a therapist?
Okay, lots of questions there and lots of different angles that I'm going to go there because, first and foremost, I'm not actually crazy about the term midlife crisis because I consider it something very normal that all of us go through in different ways. I see it more as a realization phase. It's a stage where we know we have done some very important things. We have enough years to really reflect back and see how far we've come. And we also know that we're just about at the halfway point. Maybe we're a little past, or maybe we're just getting going on it. but we know that it's about the time that we realize our days are numbered.
Right.
And so it's also the time when we come together. It's a bit of a coming together of things like, what's my life purpose? Have I achieved everything I want to achieve financially? I've been married, or I've been with this person a long time. Do I still love him, or do I still love her? How do I feel? I always wanted children. Am I a good enough parent? It's the coming together of all of these different life facets, career, education, and it's sort of like, what the heck?
Yes.
What am I doing? And so it's not really, the symptoms of that are similar to those of a person going through a depression, even if they may not be. So some of those symptoms include interrupted sleep patterns. So they're either sleeping too much or they're not sleeping enough, and that would leave them tired. So low fatigue is a very prominent sign that you're going through something very significant. Change in appetites, which is either you're eating way more than you used to, or you have very little. Libido, the sex drive tends to go down a little bit, and that's also a sign possibly that you're going through something very important. Moods are probably what people see the most. People think, I'm not depressed because I'm not crying. Sometimes the absence of tears is also a symptom when you feel flat or numb. And you're not upset, but you're not happy, and you're not sad. You're just kind of on that numb plane. So any of those, sometimes more than that, we need to worry when these symptoms are really starting to affect our lives. When we're losing days, it's okay. You have a few down days, that's fine. But if it's really starting to interrupt our daily lives, it's affecting our relationships, it's affecting our hygiene, it's affecting our interactions with the world, then it's time to get some help. I always encourage people to, if you're in a position to, is go see your physician, if that's your health professional. If not, then speak to your health professional. And if that's not very easily available, then just start talking about what's happening inside of you.
So let's talk about the mental escape, as you spoke about in your book. Why do the thoughts that we always try to ignore just come back up? Is there any way to clear our minds? I mean, overthinking always lets me down. How could I protect myself from these inner thoughts?
Well, first of all, I think overthinking is more common than anybody will admit. And second, mental escapes. Who doesn't like to feel good? Who doesn't want to go to, we go to concerts, we go on vacations, all inclusive to the beach. Who doesn't want to be in that place where we're not really thinking, we're just enjoying? That said, we have to be very careful, because when you think about it, escapes is about a going. It's about, instead of going there, I'm going here. And so escapes are an attempt to get away from a state of mind that is within us that we would rather not be in. If we really want to change the trajectory of where our lives will go, that is exactly where we need to go, is in and to that place. And this is very, very important. And I hope that if anybody has been able to identify with some of those feelings that I named, that they're paying very close attention here. Because in that place that we don't want to go, there is an underlying theme to all of it. It is this theme of not enough. I am not fit enough. I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not thin enough. I'm not hip enough. I'm not fashionable, rich, educated, socially statused enough. Whatever it is, somewhere in this, you fill in the blanks. Basically, it's this nagging voice inside of us that's telling me, I am not enough. I am not blank enough. And so that's at the crux. That's at the very, very deep well. That's in there. And that's the stuff that we're all trying to get away from. Here's the bigger truth that I really need for people to hear. That not enough is is a lie. Your life has somehow evolved and that landed in there, that not enough thought. Maybe somebody dumped it on you because they wanted to just feel better about themselves, so they did what they could to make you small. Maybe people do this, they just vent their feelings and they throw things at other people thinking that they're not thinking at all, and you catch it and it's sat in you. And that little tiny little nugget is enough to be, that little nugget can plant a seed. And if nothing comes in to rinse it out, to change it, to say, whoa, that is not correct, it stays and it grows. It's not supposed to be there, but it gets in there. Another very important part, for everybody.
Yeah.
People say, oh, but I have baggage. Newsflash, we all have baggage. Every single human walking on this planet has it. And that doesn't make them strange or it makes them normal.
Right.
So instead of escaping, find a way that you can safely go there. Oh, I could speak hours on this.
That's fine.
Yeah, so it's basically, people were saying, how do I find myself? I don't know who I am. You will find yourself in the truths you were telling with other people in a very honest conversation. That is what I do, is I got really, really good at just asking the questions. And I've gotten good at asking the questions that'll get people to their place of truth. But when you are, whoever it is, if you are exchanging a truth with somebody else who is receiving it honorably, you will see and hear the real you that you're trying to find in those words.
From other perspectives, yes.
Yeah, just hearing yourself say it.
Yeah.
How many times have people said, oh, but I this, oh my, what? Did I just say that? Oh my goodness. Yeah. So anyway, it's all in there, but you need the truth, a true conversation for it to manifest.
Yes. I read your amazing book and it touched my heart and soul. I could see how you are committed to working yourself and take a risk in self-development. My question is that most people want to take risk, but they have such a fear of change. From your perspective, when and how can we take risk to grow as a human?
Okay. First of all, we're all scared. All of us have the capacity to be fearful like a 5-year-old child starting school, or, we all have that. And so if we're going to push ourselves, we have to accept and embrace the certainty that it's going to suck. It's going to be hard. It's going to be uncomfortable. And that's, okay, so that was one. How do we do it? We do it by just accepting that things are going to come up and we're going to want to stop. When you know that that's going to come up, you're prepared and education goes a long way. So it's a tool that you can have to say, whoa, okay, here's the part where somebody told me I'm going to want to quit. Well, this is it. This is it. This is me in the moment not wanting to continue to take a risk. We will not grow as humans if we don't take a risk. There is no equation in the world where anybody you out there who you see is doing a magnificent things and you can tell it's driven by their passion, there has been a lot of risks, a lot of pain. And my book, writing my book was one of the riskier things I've done. You think about it, I was a licensed clinical therapist at the time, and here I am talking about taking antidepressants, and I'm talking about some tearful moments in my closet. And so here I was exposing myself to the world, but this is what I knew it would take for people to understand how normal these feelings are. So, yeah.
You mentioned in your book that being alive and feeling alive are two different things. May you clarify?
Yes, absolutely. So being alive, when you think about it, I mean, there's the obvious that you actually do have a pulse. Yeah, okay. Blood is pulsing through and there's air coming in and out of your lungs, your brain's fine. Maybe you're behaving in an okay way, you're going to work, you're paying your bills, you're helping out people here and there. So that's basis of being alive. You're getting your tasks done. Maybe you've got a few things that you're feeling alive. Is when you are in the company of people you really love, you are fully 100% engaged, and you're not thinking about the past, you're not thinking of the present, you are there and you are enjoying the moment. You are taking everything in, and your conversations are simply more dimensional. And you feel it in your heart, and you carry these little moments, and they feed your soul. And you have the excitement of here I am again, another 5-year-old, of a 5-year-old waking up at Christmas. But some people really do feel that. When they feel alive and they've gotten past a lot of the pain, they wake up excited for their day, and they're working so very, very hard, and they don't feel it. You wonder what it is that's fueling them. It's their passion and its desire for so many good things. And so, yeah, I want to caution, this is just, you can put this segment wherever you want, but when it comes to mental escapes, we have to be very careful with those, because we can also go to things that are socially acceptable and socially heralded things in the name of, I'm doing this for the world, but really I'm trying to escape myself. And so people have to be very, very careful with that. Oh, I'm going to go to the gym 7 days a week now, because I'm trying to escape the uncomfortableness of my marriage. I have to stay late at work tonight because I don't want to come home and have to deal with my annoying children. And so we have to be very, and people, oh, he's so successful. Yeah, maybe. Depends on what you're thinking of success.
Right.
So, anyway.
Yeah. So the readers of your book will learn whatever hard time they are going through, they should care themselves and move on by facing the past to embrace the future. What is your advice to live more authentically?
Well, the running theme of pretty much everything I've been saying here is to have real, truthful conversations. Many of us don't have that in our everyday lives, and I didn't know how little of that I actually had. What I had were little pockets, and it could be a very lonely place when you're trying to have a real moment with someone and they're not interested, because they could be I'm in a mental escape zone where I don't want to talk about anything deep. Can we keep everything sort of happy, joy, superficial? Yeah. Let's talk about recipes. I don't want to talk about your pain. I don't want to hear about it, and I'm certainly not going to tell you about mine. So the best thing we can do for ourselves is to find the places for real conversations. Find these places where we are entirely ourselves. The other thing is, sometimes I'll say, listen to some podcasts and absorb as much as you can and read some books and take some courses. There's a caution there too, though, because you could be so much in the taking in information zone, but until you actually use it and employ it and speak it and do it, the change isn't really happening. So we can't all keep it in our heads. It has to manifest and show in our actions. And if you're not feeling a little bit or very terrified, and if you're not feeling anxious about something that you're about to do, then you're not pushing yourself.
So let's wrap up this amazing interview with this question. Because this is an educational podcast, this question is for young users on social media. As a therapist, is there any relationships between screen time and depression? I mean, what is your best advice for young people to avoid being depressed?
Okay, that's a really, really good question. So I invite everybody who owns a screen to track their time on it, not just track the hours on it, but to track what it is they do in it. Because it's a trap also for a lot of these "you are not enough" messages they will tell the young girls that you need to be a certain way. They will tell women and men that you need these things in your life to feel more whatever. So there's a lot, if not so much sales involved in what you're seeing, whatever it is. Outside of that, you have other people who are releasing their vents, and you're in grave danger of catching it, even if you don't mean to. So I invite, now it's a tougher one because a lot of educational things are on there too. I mean, I do love watching some other, real people on there. But we can convince ourselves, but this is educational, and yet there you are looking at the latest trends, and you're like, you can lose so much there, and you can walk away feeling down. So it is an escape. And I caution anybody, I dare everybody to keep track of where the quality time actually is on their screen time and what it is they may be trying to escape from.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sherwood.
Oh, you are most welcome. It has been my honor. Thank you.